Part 5 of the prosecution's closing argument, and this part focuses on the threats to Jane in more detail. After reading Cassie's lawsuit, Jane writes to the defendant, "I feel like I'm reading my own trauma. 2 of my birthdays, you forced me." Jane wrote, "You gaslit me. It was exploitation you framed as love for your sick fetishes." The defendant called her and tried to trick her into saying it was all consented to. He fed her a false narrative. Listen to this clip. He talked over her. Dr. Hughes told you how a victim is trauma bonded to her abuser. Jane often felt the defendant didn't listen to the truth. She said Sean would say just to move on. He told her to charge him, that lawyers would be involved, to buy her silence. So she asked for $100,000 a year for her to move on. She thought it was reasonable, far less than Cassie. The defendant went ballistic. She refused to adopt her false narrative. You can read the text message. We can't. They are not on the screen. Jane wrote that the defendant was going to show her intimate tapes of the father of her child. Then he reached out and told her to come to see him in Miami. She makes it clear she doesn't want a hotel night. He says okay. Despite his promise, he called an escort. Here are more threats about the rent. Jane writes, "I hate worrying about the rent. This is in 2024. It all culminated in June 2024. He assaulted her and forced her to perform intimacy on an escort. This is trafficking. It was interstate and the Astroglide crossed state lines. The defendant knew or recklessly disregarded that force, threats of force, coercion or fraud were used. Consenting once doesn't mean she consented every time. One time is enough." In 2023, he made Jane feel she'd have a proper NYC weekend, but invited escorts. Jane sent him another message. "It's dark and sleazy. In fear of losing my home." His response, "Girl, stop." Then he FaceTimed her and told her about shopping and dinner. He lied. Look. He's also texting Paul Arthur as escort. Look at these messages. He's setting up a hotel night. When she's in the air, he tells her he has a surprise for her. She did not want it. That, before the plane even lands, is a completed act of trafficking. He tricked her. Then, under coercion, she calls Cabral to come to New York. In the next text, she says, "In NYC, I knew you would pair me up with a random person." In the sobriety party, without substances, she's so disgusted she vomits. She writes, "I'm not a pea star. I'm not an animal. I need a break." The defendant responds, "Let's spend the day, no strangers." She replies, "You'll love bomb me." He switches from carrot to stick, the house. He texts, "Are you going to let me into our house?" 8 times. Then he said he was sick and needed her. She went and had intimacy with 3 different men without substances. After vomit, he said, "Get back out there." 2024, in Jane's house, 3 months after Homeland Security agents searched the defendant's homes, they used Jane's house. He came there. They were supposed to have a fun date night. They drank and argued. She pushed his head into the counter. He shouted at her. She told him to leave. She ran and closed doors. He kicked down 3 doors. You saw the doors. Here's one of them on the screens. She ran without shoes. She hid. He was waiting. Jane hit the defendant. He punched her in the face. Here are photos. He dragged her by the hair back into the house. Jane